for them. But FaZe, as well as they played in the winners finals, you know, Andy, they want a shot back at Cloud9.
They really do here, and you have to think a lot on the line here, right? Because you have Sentinels trying to, they'll have to beat Cloud9 to get out of Cloud9's pool, which is pretty amazing. But we'll get to that when we get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. First up, it's going to be FaZe, and like you said, FaZe right now, based on the points in my rough math, they've almost certainly secured second, based on the fact they came into this tournament with second. So they will likely be at least second seed, or actually with the points difference, they will be second seed for sure. But the first thing they're going to have to look at is this Strongholds on Recharge game number 1 against Sentinels.
Yeah, that's a yikes from me, dog, because the goal that Lot and Onset just broke down were Sentinels need to avoid recharge, and it's game 1 of the series. So maybe if you're Sentinels, if you can find a way to try and take this game 1, you get not only a bad map mode combo for your team out of the way, but you take the lead in the series and gain a lot of confidence going into that Aquarius layer, which we just saw them dominate Optic Gaming in. That would be a massive win. But that's easier said than done, and especially knowing that it's a weak game type staring you in the face as you go into this series, knowing how well FaZe is playing. What do you think the strengths from Sentinels are going to have to be for them to turn this one around?
I think Sentinels needs to ride the momentum they've got, and FaZe has to keep an eye on this just because FaZe has watched their biggest competition over the entire month of January, United and Optic, both be eliminated by this Sentinels roster. And as we said, Sentinels has really been, with the formal substitution, just been hanging around the bottom of top 8. They come in here with the top 8 seed. However, FaZe, of course, cannot take this series lightly. Yes, FaZe had an amazing series against C9. Yes, they're looking the best they ever have. But in order to get back to their finals, they're going to have a really tough losers finals here against a team like Sentinels. Once again, it's a best of 5. They're going to have to really bring it all series long. This thing is far from over, and we're jumping right now into game number 1. It's going to be Strongholds on Recharge. It's FaZe versus Sentinels.
All right, here we go. I want to see if Sentinels is able to try and dictate the pace against this FaZe team that has been playing very fast so far today. We talked about how they matched the pace of Cloud9 in that winners finals series. Sentinels is going to have to control FaZe if they want to try and win this game 1 already, with Snip3down trying to be aggressive here. Top bat wedge making his way towards his shock rifle, but first he has his eyes set on SnakeBite. As one player on his team does go down, it's going to force Snip3down into a very difficult situation. It looks like Sentinels, although Snip3down is going to be in the stronghold, has won the open and break for now.
Yeah, look at that. It really interesting because you did see 2 players on FaZe that actually went down early. So despite the fact that you saw a camo grab coming in from Sentinels, now it's 4 dead for Sentinels. So really interesting breakdown of how that played out. Pretty non-traditional start there, Clutch, for this type of game type.
It had to be a breakdown on the Sentinel side because you get those first 2 kills, like you mentioned. You think you're going to get camo control. You think you're going to be able to get Snip3down out of B, but neither one of those really happened. And FaZe are looking lights out here at the start of game 1. Snip3down has positioned himself perfectly to try and rotate to all 3 strongholds to be able to impact this fight. I love the fact that he slides in the elevator to help his team. And already, look at FaZe just on top of Frosty as he tries to secure B. That's not going to happen either. And now Sentinels look like they're in a bit of a spawn trap over on C play.
Already past the 60-point mark. 1/5 of the game is already done for the side of FaZe. It's an excellent start, and you even saw that B got contested, so Snip3down knew that someone was in with him in batteries. It looked like maybe even a camo player, but the fact that that went the other way, pretty surprising. As we said, still 2 players on Sentinels and don't even have kills on the board yet. Regardless though, BC hold, and
give me a third.
Bubu heating up, trying to look for that number 3. He'll get the double. He'll grapple out to C though, but a few points on the board for Sentinels through those exchanges.
Frosty is going to be coming behind, but dubu, he's going to be forced to hit the shot, and forced he will. Right that into Frosty's dome. A beautiful kill, and he's able to take down Formal as well. Dubu playing lights out Halo today. A great shock rifle shot to start that one off. He's on a killing spree, a 6 spree right now, as he secures C and is back in his team's favor. Wisely tries to play his life, but LethuL actually reads the play perfectly and sets himself up for camo. Dubu popping off at a 6-3-2 rate already, Andy.
Absolutely, and FaZe certainly outslaying off of the opening. It's showing on the scoreboard as well. They'll continue to tick up at the 84 mark, and like you said, Bubu putting on a show. He also equalized the camo. That would be the camo neutralized once again.
Formal off to a slow start so far at 0-5. Really want to see him turn up. He had a great series earlier on stream. He's going to need to have another great series for them to have a chance here. But you're seeing how pressured Sentinels is to defend the 1 stronghold that they have while trying to push out. FaZe are controlling the map so well so far.
That play from bubu, it's risky to go off of C plat and show yourself to long hole on that angle, but it's rare that a player chases, so he's able to clean up LethuL in the tunnel. You do not want to leave a player like that in tunnel who can cause a lot of havoc, let their shields recharge, maybe even grab a repulsor. So heads up play from bubu in moments like that to get the kill, slay out, clear out the base, and just like that, 127 to 30.
Look at that play from Falcated. He lets Frosty run out of elevator by himself without shooting at Frosty. He knows that there's going to be more members able to catch Formal off guard because Formal just watched Frosty clear this out. Falcated gets that first kill, is able to reset A for a little bit, but Sentinels do take it over. Falcated is still with his life in hand, though, able to just control this top elevator spot. Does find himself another killing spree, and that's multiple killing sprees on the side of FaZe that have resulted in this 128 to 47 lead so far.
Yeah, commanding result from FaZe, left off perhaps where we last saw them in that C9 series. If you're just joining us, FaZe Clan giving Cloud9 their best series in quite some time, maybe in the entirety of the NA Pro series in the month of January, and trying to get back there into the grand finals. But first they will need to get through Sentinels here in your elimination finals. More points on the board though for Sentinels as they'll cut the lead in half now, 128 to 67.
Great job by bubu to stay alive there. Didn't have the confidence, didn't have the wherewithal to try and push top elevator and try and secure A. He's able to be backed down by SnakeBite, but that's fine. He wants to make sure his team stays in control, especially after losing a few teammates. bubu has played the situation perfectly right now in top control in such a power position. Now that his teammates are on respawn, they get a kill, and that's his sign that he needs to push elevator. But right now he wisely tries to play his rifle around this pole, and because of it he's able to get that kill. Security would have gone down in just a 1v1, but the rest of FaZe able to back up bubu and flip the map once again.
And if I'm FaZe, I'm a little bit worried about how much Sentinels has gotten back in this game, because as we said, it was a huge about 80-point lead earlier, and that has now been reduced quite a bit here to about 50 points, bubu. And LethuL once again in the same exact place there down at blue tunnel, and instead this time they will trade out, but FaZe scoring once again. But FaZe knows they cannot take this Sentinel roster lightly whatsoever, as Sentinels already has about 90 points on the board, and one more or two more slips, we could see Sentinels tie this game up.
Yeah, absolutely, but they're gonna have to get some kills in order to do so. Right now they are being heavily outslayed by FaZe. Both Falcated and bubu have 11 to their name, and SnakeBite and Formal only have 3 to theirs. You're gonna need to see that flip-flop if you want to see Sentinels come back, and right now FaZe don't look like they have any idea of letting that happen.
Frosty winning that battle bottom elevator, not always the easiest battle to win when it's a one shot that's head glitching you on the bottom of the elevator, but cool, calm, and collected through that exchange. Take a look at Frosty just trying to stay alive as long as he can on A, and does so well to turn that over. So momentary trip cap, but B and C both being converted at the same time, and it feels like whatever Sentinels works hard to do, FaZe is already jumping on the other strongholds right away.
B is going to be reset from Sentinels, so they are going to jump into control. Only down 30 points so far, so even though they don't have the slays right now to match FaZe, they're doing a phenomenal job of staying in this game. I love this by Frosty to stay alive. Now let's see what he's got in his bag of tricks. Gonna be able to pick up that mangler. A little bit of an overextension onto that plasma nade is gonna cost him his life as he goes down to a melee from Falcated. And that was a great job by Falcated to get that kill. A very important kill onto Frosty. And that could be the map flipping back into FaZe's favor very shortly.
Yeah, and like you said, as we're going to see a camo grab here for bubu, and also try to look for it. No, you have to wonder. You had to wonder if he needed to challenge Formal there, bottom middle. He might have gotten a one-shot call out. However, the shields may have just recharged. Rarely do you have your camo player challenge in a battle like that unless it's an absolute one-shot, and maybe just a little bit of mistiming there on the communication side of FaZe clutch.
Honestly, what a heads-up play, though, by Sentinels. I believe it was Formal that got that kill, but to understand the comms and to like have your eyes set on one player, but to immediately get shot at by him right there, and to turn and finish that kill to get camo off the map, that's a massive kill. So although Formal only has 4 kills to his name, one of them's the biggest kill of the game so far.
Yeah, rarely do you see Formal 4 and 16 like this. Pretty surprising numbers for the side of Sentinels here, and Formal's actually the only player alive momentarily as he'll try to see if he can get something going with the teammates off the respawn. But this is now 221 to 123. It was about a 50-point game, that now it is a 100-point game. Home stretch here potentially for FaZe. Trip cap losing B now will just be an AC control.
Yeah, somehow after that camo gets killed, it's all FaZe in the scoreline, especially in the Strongholds department. They were able to hold a trip cap for a little bit there and just exploit this lead already to 242, 243. Sentinels forced to try and push top elevator. They're going to get shut down by bubu, but there's a second one above him that he's going to try and deal with the grapple. Oh baby, bubu! He's hit me with that nades. He hits LethuL with it in tournaments. bubu showing you he's got work to do with the shock rifle. 250 to 123. FaZe are going to take game one off the highlight reel bubu just gave us.
Like we said, FaZe looking the best they ever have in this week number 4, and maybe a sign of things to come. Not just for what the rest of the tournament holds, but even Anaheim in just a few weeks. FaZe looking very strong in that game number 1.
I mean, it was neck and neck until that trip cap came into place, and it was all FaZe from there on out. They kept that trip cap up to about the 235 point mark, and then from there they just held the 2 that they needed. And look at the slays. I mean, Falcated continuing to be a monster here today. 18, 6, and 4, but everybody on FaZe getting it done.
Such an impressive run there. Like we said, it was about 120 to 88, and we started to say this game get a little bit closer. FaZe needs to be careful. FaZe didn't even think about being careful. Instead, they just extended the slaying department and ran the entire map, ran away with it. A few triple caps back to back to back, but we'll see it in the highlights. But bubu with that shock rifle absolutely putting on a show, and even early on in the game with that shock rifle as well.
He's been going off with this thing recently and consistently doing so. I mean, it was this kill right here that really opened up the map for his team. He actually takes down Formal here as well. And it's like bubu has figured out this shock rifle, and it was only a matter of time till some of these pros figured out the timing and the consistency that they needed to with it. And it looks like bubu is starting to master what could be a very big opportunity for this FaZe team. A snipe on a map like Recharge, if you're able to have the level of success he's starting to have, you're going to open up the game for your team so much.
Look at this shot against LethuL as well. Look at this. Also, you might remember he's holding the stairs here at the end. Even hits the shot. One, yeah. Even hits that on Formal in the victory screen as well.
Doesn't even have a reticle.
Ridiculous stuff. Doesn't even need the reticle from bubu. Next up, we're going to Aquarius Slayer. Amazing performance from FaZe. It's a convincing victory, but if we've learned anything, Clutch, from today's matches, it's when a team blows out a Strongholds game 1, they so far have historically lost the game 2. About 50-48 has been the rule of thumb today, so we'll have to see if that's what's in store. Can Sentinels bounce back in game number 2? It's going to be Aquarius Slayer.
Yeah, and if you're in the minds of Sentinels right now, you just beat Optic 50-32 on this exact mode to knock them out of the tournament. This is going to be really interesting, right? Because FaZe have been so hot all day today, and we're going to see if they can repeat that same performance. They're going to need to in order to not fall down too far in this series. And already we're seeing these two teams highly contested for this camo battle top mid.
We also just saw the Wizard of Oz. I believe his name is Wes Price, the man behind the curtain coming.
That was
the man behind the curtain coming through. The Wizard of Clutch you saw just for a brief moment there. That was a sneak peek. That's a week 4 exclusive. You may not ever see that again. So
I hope we don't.
We hope you enjoyed that. It's 6-4, 6-5 now off of the break here. 8-5 as we take a look at an early set of kills coming in for FaZe. We'll be 3 dead momentarily. Those they go back to Falcated. They will trade with SnakeBite as well. So 1 dead for each side as things slow down just a bit, but this is a very, very fast-paced opening after that Wizard of Oz reveal.
A great start for FaZe right now. 5-1-2 Falcated. Who else would it be right now for FaZe? 3 go down for Sentinels, and already starting to dictate the pace FaZe is with as fast as they like to play. A big kill from SnakeBite as he was the last guy alive to somehow trade with one of the members from FaZe. That's going to release a little bit of the pressure FaZe is able to put on these players, and Sentinels need to repeat that performance multiple times in order to keep FaZe off their backs, because right now FaZe are starting to click and figure out how to play Halo Infinite at about the same pace as Cloud9, and that's a scary thought.
28 kills in the first minute 40 seconds. That is a very, very high number of kills. Maybe the highest density kills per minute that we've seen in any opening to an Aquarius Slayer. These teams flying at each other here nonstop.
Jesus.
Still, though, just a 4-kill game. And I don't think I've ever seen an Aquarius Slayer that has been this back and forth off of the opening.
Hey, do me a favor. Let's stay on Falcated's screen because he has been nonstop lights out as he wins a fight against LethuL. He does get taken down, so we are going to have to switch points of view, but who better than bubu as he makes his way towards this new camo that was popping. SnakeBite did pick that one up. bubu hunting him down, giving his team all the communication of where this camo player probably is, but loses him for a second, and SnakeBite gets out of there. That could be massive for SnakeBite's opportunity, but just as we switch off his point of view, it looked like he was going to get into an engagement.
Frosty here. Heatwave camo, only down by 2 kills. Somehow, despite such good numbers here coming in from the side of FaZe, it's Sentinels staying in this game, keeping it very close here, and look for Sentinels to try to bounce back in this series in game number 2 if they can. It's somehow Frosty pulls the trade out of the back pocket there with a wild bank shot, and just like that,
That was actually a really big trade from Frosty, but unfortunately, right back to Falcated screen. He's got a double kill, a perfect kill as well. He's starting to pressure the spawners, the last two members of Sentinels alive. I mean, Falcated doing it all. It's unfortunate he runs out of ammo because you best believe he wasn't going to miss shots in that situation either.
25-21 now. FaZe 2 dead for them, so they'll have to wait for each other. Bubu just going to anchor from the flag, midship style. See if he can do some damage. Needs to be careful, though, to not fall to that 1v2. Has a help up top middle. That's going to be in the Formal slide down. Oh, my. The shots from Formal too strong.
Too strong, and that was her big shot. Sentinels need to make plays like that to stay in. This double kill from Frosty on screen is massive as they take the lead now, 26-25. So as well and as hot as Falcated has started this game at 11-2-7, Sentinels still have somehow managed to take the lead off the back of some great slays from Frosty and SnakeBite. You love to see those two step it up when Sentinels need them the most. But right now on screen, Falcated, he's gonna have to clear out this space, create some space for his team, because for the first time it feels like in the series, FaZe might be on their back feet.
Still just a one-kill game between these two. It's been so back and forth, and every time you see Sentinels drop a game number one and you think maybe they're out of the series, that's not the case. They are answering back so strongly in these Slayers, and just in case you missed it earlier, they've eliminated some favorites. SnakeBite picks up a big one there in the feed. That'll be 2 dead for FaZe once again, and just like that, 31-30 in favor of Sentinels.
Look at every time we switch to a member of FaZe's screen, how different it is right now as they're trapped in this utility closet. Frosty trying to be aggressive on the SnakeDown's face, but he gets taken down. SnakeBite with another camo awarded in Sentinels' favor. Has this Heatwave in hand, and this is a deadly combo. We have seen how impactful this combination of camo and Heatwave can be as he gets that first kill on screen. Multiple kills coming in Sentinels' favor, but a grenade, a melee actually from an unsuspecting player, but somehow he still takes Bound down. The reversal comes through, and camo Heatwave is the play that SnakeBite needed to make in order to give his team this 3-kill lead as he looks to be aggressive front blue.
Second camo Heatwave combo. We've seen Bound getting very sneaky in that utility corner that you actually see on screen right now, and looking for that melee. You have to think maybe only a few pixels away from a back whack with the angle that he was taking that at, but just like that, FaZe knows they have needed to slow it down, and they're actually staying alive in Fridge, trying to figure out a way to push out, because right now they're down by 4.
Yeah, they need to be careful, because if FaZe give up any more lives, this lead could get out of hand. At 4 kills at this point, but if it gets to 8 at any point in time, this could get really ugly and almost impossible for FaZe to win. So a big trade there on the SnakeBite, get Heatwave finally out of his hands, but dynamo grenades are coming through. They fry Falcated top pink right there, and Sentinels playing the situation perfectly, making sure they don't overextend too far. But I love this play by Frosty to keep the pedal on the metal into this util closet. Stopping SnakeDown before he can get in there was big, and he gets the angle onto another player, which allows SnakeBite to get another double kill. And now you're starting to see the wheels churn in Sentinels' heads. You're starting to see them control the game and what they're capable of when they have the opportunity to get a couple of kills in their favor.
What a swing from Sentinels. It's another late game performance from them, and they have stepped it up big now. 7-kill lead, only 5 to go. SnakeDown, though, what can he do here with the power up? We'll see if this is what FaZe needs to bring this game back. As we said, right now, down by 7.
Down by 7. SnakeDown with camo adjusts back to top middle after securing that camo, punching it in. Finds an easy kill on the SnakeBite front to base. Drops down pink, looking for players. Knows that Formal's around here. Actually gives his teammate a ping, and because of it, bubu gets that kill. Bound finds one as well, and SnakeDown's going to back the last player alive into blue. FaZe is going to force blue spawn's going to have all the information here, and this is a realistic possibility. Just a 3-kill game at this point. Perfect shots on a Frosty, gives SnakeDown the killing spree, and they still keep Sentinels trapped in this base.
That's 6 unanswered kills, 7 unanswered kills from FaZe. They're about to tie the game. This was 45-38. Now it's 45-45. This is incredible halo from FaZe.
Frosty does get one answer, but he gets taken down by bubu in the push with the Heatwave. 47-46. FaZe have taken the lead.
My God, 47-46. Bubu right now, Heatwave in hand. Dynamos as well. If he starts to get ticks, he will push here. Look at this.
Oh my God, he's not getting the kill though. The grenade does not find the entry. He gets assassinated by LethuL. 48-48. Bound in a tough situation. He gets taken down by LethuL. Another kill for Frosty. Sentinels take game 2. An overextension, a blind push cost FaZe the win after everything they did to come back. And Sentinels are right back in this series, tying it up 1-1.
Look at that smirk on Formal's face. He's getting ticked by dynamos in the utility over and over again. Somehow he stays alive in utility at the end. And that is our 3rd game. After a Strongholds blowout where the opposing team wins the game 50-48, The only exception today was a 50-47. These has been the closest Slayers we've ever seen in a competitive Halo tournament. Game after game. 50-48 again.
Jesus.
And a comeback win. My God. Almost a choke from the side of Sentinels. They were up 45-37, don't forget. It went to 45-45. They close it out, though, 50-48. My God, what a game number 2.
I can't believe bubu just assumed that lightning grenade was going to kill Formal in the bottom of that closet. If he just shoots the heat wave, he gets the kill and he can move on and potentially not get assassinated, but that's down the road, right? You don't get that kill on a Formal, and it kills your opportunity to try and push. That back smack from LethuL was so clutch. I mean, how many plays were just made throughout this entire game? It was the ebbs and flows of the control in this game from both teams was absolutely incredible.
Sentinels with that continued, look at this play too. Bound almost gets that sneaky, almost a back whack, but certainly almost a melee surprise. But so much heatwave camo control from Sentinels. But I mean, here you are, right? It was 45-37, then somehow these perfect pushes with camo. But here's what you're talking, actually right there. There's the back whack you're talking about. LethuL gets the back whack on utility bridge.
He finds the second one right here.
Formal stays alive.
You can't just walk out onto that bridge knowing that you have the enemy team stuck in the back of that base and not check that side. I know he was probably getting communication, especially after not finishing Formal. That Formal was probably right below him. But a massive overextension there from bubu paired with not finishing that kill in the bottom util when you had him no shield and you threw a dynamo grenade at him instead of choosing to shoot, are the reasons you're now tied in this series. And going into CTF Bazaar, we saw a phenomenal game out of FaZe earlier today, a 5-0 from FaZe against Optic. So this is a very strong game type for them, but Sentinels have had a lot of success on Bazaar CTF themselves.
I can only imagine what Formal's POV looked like there in utility as those dynamos are going off. A scene out of Star Wars without a doubt, but no time for that. Here we go, game number 3, series tied 1-1, FaZe versus Sentinels. This is the matchup we came here for. We'll have to see who's going to take the lead after this one. It's going to be CTF on Bazaar.
A lot on the line here as we enter game 3. It's a best of 5 series, but both of these teams want to get back to the finals, want to give Cloud9 a run for their money, but before they do that, they have to figure out how to win the elimination finals. bubu is going to be pushing out front of his big doors right into a dynamo grenade, cooked like a chicken at Chick-fil-A, I'd say, and unfortunately, he's going to be knocked to no shields, but on the other side of the map, Frosty picking up these rockets, trying to stay alive.
Oh.
Wastes both rockets, but a kill on the Falcated gives his team numbers advantage. 3 go down from FaZe, and if SnakeBite can stay alive, you're going to see Sentinels get map control, but he's taken down by Bound very quickly.
Bound grabs that first overshield that earns him a kill, but it will be melted right away. Great play by Formal bottom rockets there against Snip3down to force the rocket there. He actually forces the trade by flying straight into Snipe. Ooh, look at that dynamos, God. More frags come in as well. Oh my gosh, I was gonna say that's not gonna be a trade based on the fact that that second frag hit as well, but good trades off of the opening. No one able to get early control or early aggression just yet.
Yeah, battle for control is what we're watching right now. LethuL is gonna come back through the tree, going to be able to finish Falcated, but knows that he can't really go for a flag run here. He's got to get some more, so he has multiple members of his team spawning on the opposite side of the map. Big kill by LethuL, though, to find 2, and that's going to open up the map. That's going to stop FaZe from being able to push out of their own tree. Even though LethuL gets taken down, look at where Formal and SnakeBite are. They were able to push across for free because of those 2 kills. That's massive from LethuL, and now here is the result because of it. SnakeBite in your bar, finding 1. He gets taken down. But where are the rest of Sentinels right now?
Heads up play from Falcated. Nice pop from LethuL as well. Kills continue just being traded out. 4 dead, though, for Sentinels. Maybe an opportunity for FaZe to get a little more mid-map control and start to put the aggression and answer back from that last Sentinels push.
Yeah, bubu in this corner needs to stay alive.
Oh
not an option, though, because 7 nades come through. bubu blinks, dies. Unfortunately, his only call out is shotgun down in their corner. They're out of nades, completely out of nades. Shouldn't have 1 left in the cake.
Definitely no nades, but a shotgun there. Take a look on your screen. The overshield's in play. bubu gets it and it gets around the corner. LethuL takes the time to check the dynamo tunnel, wants to see what's inside the shanty town, but it costs him the overshield, and now will be another FaZe push.
bubu with his first entry into the Sentinels base finds a kill on the SnakeBite, using that overshield to success here. Has to play his life. He's got 1 player in LethuL to deal with. Has a thrust in his back pocket. Chooses to use it early in the fight, and LethuL punishes him because of it. That's a massive kill from LethuL to flush out his base and buy time for Frosty to come off respawn and defend his flag once again.
See what Frosty could do here. Not enough. He'll go down, but Falcated thinking about maybe starting something. Knows that the players are going to be coming from rocket side and front door, and does not have a whole lot to work with. Needs teammates' help here.
Yeah, staying alive. Falcated, we know how well he can do this. We saw him do it actually last week. Had a hell of a play on the same pillar on the opposite base, trying to stay alive as best he can, but eventually the Sentinels numbers are too much for him to deal with. Sentinels clear out their base, and a battle for mid-map once again takes place. But Dubu, he's had nightmares about what happened to him last time. This time it's not grenades, it's two players pushing him this time around. Rockets were secured by Formal, it looks like, and that's two dead for FaZe. The middle of the map is Sentinels' control now, but you're seeing them kind of back up because they lost two teammates. They know that they can't successfully push, especially with respawners soon coming up.
Formal, once again, not as efficient as he'd like with those rockets. Second time we've seen that on screen today, just not grabbing the 2 kills that he maybe wants, or maybe even more that with those rockets now. Frosty, though, going to find a player bottom mid. Very nice Mangler drop to pick up that kill against Bound, and a little bit of mid-map control momentarily for Sentinels.
Frosty knew there was a player below him somewhere, looked everywhere, but unfortunately, the one place he didn't check was behind him. Gets assassinated, but SnakeBite right there to trade that one out. Continue map control in their favor. They're going to continue to nade closets because apparently that's been a very successful way to get kills throughout today. SnakeBite wisely trying to play his life here for this next overshield, but it does look like FaZe are going to have numbers, damage advantage, and dubu on the overshield once again with shotgun in hand could be the recipe for success to get the first flag going for FaZe. Look at the push. LethuL does eliminate the power up with the plasma pistol. A trade from LethuL was massive there.
Massive play. Once again, we're seeing the green gun in the tree continue to melt the overshields time again. You have to think, especially by the time we get to Anaheim, that you're going to have the overshield players maybe waiting just a second. Yes, you got a bulldog in hand, but wait for teammates to come help. Maybe push bar instead. We keep seeing those overshields being melted by the plasma pistols, and it's a pretty predictable play, and one that I think is avoidable for your overshield players.
Yeah, maybe take a different route, go towards the rocket side of the map, jump into their bar, but definitely don't want to go in that tree because you know that that plasma pistol spawning there is going to be occupied, especially when they have the comms that you have overshield. But the flag is being run. In the meantime, Slays are coming through for FaZe. 2 players of Sentinels just coming off respawn. Is anyone in position? LethuL is at the base with brew grenades in hand, able to take down the flag carrier. LethuL's actually going to say, I think we got this. I think we're going to get a touch of our own, but no, he loses teammates in the process, and LethuL could be making a big mistake by not trying to get on that return, because right now he's going to have a multiple battle fight to win. Takes down the first player in Bound, plays his life so well on this pillar, but still has to buy time. SnakeBite is on the prowl. He's trying to get across bottom middle. LethuL playing his life as best he can. A trade from LethuL comes in. Dynamo grenades frying the members of FaZe, and the rest of Sentinels look to be here, but can the flag return come in? It's up to Frosty, and Frosty gets it done.
Oh my God, LethuL staying alive in the back of the base so long and keeping that flag alive. Even though you saw a bubu touch in the end, Frosty comes front door. He's the last guy in there, and it's a team effort from the side of Sentinels on the return. They had to work for that return, but the flag does come back home. We will stay 0-0 here in CTF.
I'm not even sure how LethuL was able to do what he was just capable of, to buy that much time for players to get killed and come off respawn. A big kill from dubu is gonna, onto LethuL, is gonna open up the map. Rockets are up. dubu walking past him is gonna have to go back for him. I believe he was gonna try and grapple him, but probably missed the grapple off screen as we changed points of view. So now dubu has secured those rockets, has grapple in hand. What? Somehow that rocket doesn't kill Frosty. He knocks him to no shield, so dubu gonna have to fly again. A nice shot from dubu as he lands into the stables of the bar, as he quickly turns to know that respawners are gonna be overextending. A flag run for FaZe is on the prowl right now, but dubu with 1 rocket in hand needs to find kills. Great nades from dubu as well, as his flag crosses the halfway mark.
Tick, tick, tick of the Dynamos there, and bubu's going to run the flag as well. Rockets in hand, doing it all, killing the players on pillars, checking every corner, knows that there's going to be some action on front door. Oh my God, the elbow comes in from Formal and absolutely stops the flag run on the double doors.
He gets off the return, though. He gets off the return, and unfortunately, multiple members of FaZe are once again here. Formal tries to be the last line of defense, but it's not enough, and FaZe somehow, some way, slay out after all of the chaos that happened in front of their base. They get the flag, they punch it in on the back of Falcated, finding that kill, getting the touch, and now FaZe have the lead here in game 3.
Man, do they ever have to work for it? Like you said, Formal steps off that return. Certainly maybe had to jump out of the way of some grenades, and now more battles in these huts. Frosty versus Falcated here. Falcated's going to win that one, but Formal able to land a heavy elbow on the front door, but stepped off the return, and that means FaZe is able to put enough numbers on the front door to bring that flag back home, and with as hard as they've had to work, Clutch, that could be the game winner.
Yeah, as hard as they've had to work with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left, Falcated on a killing spree, trying to get this flag moving again. Bound just being a nuisance in the back of Sentinels' base. It could be the game winner, or it could be a potential 2-0 lead if FaZe are able to play this right. SnakeBite finds that first kill, though, and that could be where this flag stops being run. Good shots from Frosty, but not good enough as Falcated gets another big win onto Frosty, takes him down. The return does come through. FaZe is out of the base for now, but all of that power, all of that presence in the back of Sentinels' base has allowed FaZe to scoop this overshield up and gain map control once again.
No, it gets green gunned again, dude. I'm sick of
going there.
I'm sick of this. Bound gets a double kill. SnakeDown gets a clean overshield, and somehow one of the last two players alive, Plasma Pistol SnakeDown's overshield. It's such a predictable angle. We need to see a shift in the overshield meta, as the overshield will be melted, but still, FaZe on the aggression. They're able to still have control of their enemy's base momentarily.
These guys don't care about overshield at all. They don't care. They don't need overshield apparently, because FaZe still have control of Sentinels' base. They have only LethuL to deal with right now in the tree, and they deal with him very quickly as they take him down. Bound gets the kill. Another player is going to be able to run that fight. Dubu with a combat shotgun looks to try and gain control of his own tree, because Frosty is in there, and Sentinels overextension have gotten them a few kills. SnakeDown picks up a fresh set of rockets, but these kills coming through are big for Sentinels. But the one player they have to worry about is Bound with this flag, because he's already got it to the bar.
Falcated there, one of the last players alive for a second. He was one of the fresh spawners, so he should have teammates here, and they should be able to bring this back. Based on the numbers, this should be 2-0.
This is definitely a 2-0, and now FaZe, with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left, have taken a significant lead. And Bazaar is very difficult to score. One flag, two is almost impossible, especially with 2.5 minutes remaining.
Pop, pop, pop. 3 shots of the Bulldog, 3 kills on the board. That's a triple kill for Falcated. Frosty, though, gonna be one that grabs that as well. But we got to talk about Falcated. We haven't mentioned it yet. The man is 28 and 13 in this game right now.
It's every game today. Falcated is absolutely popping off, and it's against the best players in the world. Falcated making a statement. He is here to leave a legacy of his own, to define himself as one of the best slayers in the game. We don't talk about him enough. He says, you got to talk about me when I'm putting numbers like 28 and 14 up.
Right, you cannot ignore what he's doing right now, and maybe doesn't get enough credit on that squad. Overshield was still down, by the way, on bottom truck. We got to see what happens with that overshield, as I'm sure that could be a determining factor in which way this one goes. Maybe a grab for SnakeBite. Yeah, SnakeBite's going to grab that one off of screen. He's going to get that overshield, and we'll have to see if he's able to actually fight with it and not get it melted.
All right, the good thing is SnakeBite was able to verify the plasma pistol being on the wall in the tree, so it's not in the hands of FaZe for now. But that player behind them in tree is one to deal with. He may have the plasma pistol, and if he gets comboed right now, I'm going to be extremely upset. But 2 members of Sentinels trying to push this out. It's SnakeDown, I believe, that was in the tree. He's actually going to get that first kill on the formal, and because of it, SnakeBite's forced to slow this one down. But with 1 minute and 10 seconds left, you need 2 flag caps. You don't really have time to slow this down, Andy. You got to figure out a way to continue to get slays.
Yeah, you need 2 flag caps, and you also need 2 miracles. That's what SnakeBite is looking for. Pop of the Bulldogs and a clean up killing spree for SnakeBite, doing what he can to keep his team in this game.
He's not going to be able to get the touch, though, so the flag is going to reset. So that's a win for FaZe. They're going to have to continue to slay out Sentinels if they want to try and punch this one in. Any error or mistake is going to be doubly punished right now. And SnakeBite does get the flag once again to halfway, loses his life. And Falcated says, absolutely not. I've done too much in this game to come away with a loss. So although the flag still is out, any second that it's not being capped just leaves more of an opportunity for FaZe to set up for a final push from Sentinels, and it doesn't even look like that flag's going in, as bubu hopped on the return as well.
20 seconds left here in the game. This is just a small victory lap here for the side of FaZe. What a game they've had, as Falcated just going to control and patrol the bottom side. Rockets knows that 10 seconds are left, just going to hug the wall with the Bulldog out. Look at his numbers, 28 and 16 in this game.
28 and 16 is such a dominant performance, and they needed every bit of it to try and get some of these flags on the board. You're going to see this game end in a 2-0 favor, in favor of FaZe, as they take the lead in the series. Once again, they go up 2-1 and look to push their team to the grand finals with one more map win over Sentinels.
They want that rematch against Cloud9, and now only 1 game away. That was the go-ahead for them, and now have their eyes set on the finals. But Sentinels not making it easy at all, putting up a great fight. And despite the fact that that was 2-0 on the board, A hard-fought victory. There's the numbers on the screen, though, from Falcated. Absolutely enormous. You saw the triple kill on screen as well as 3 double kills.
2 flag steals, 2 flag captures. Falcated with the most kills, the least deaths, doing it all statistically for his team. And an unbelievable performance. He really is becoming a massive difference maker for this FaZe roster. He goes as they go, and at 28 kills in a Bazaar CTF like that, I mean, if he's able to continue to play at this level, it's only a matter of time till we see the best of Bound, bubu, dubu, and SnakeBite paired with him.
Nearly doubling the amount of kills on some of the players on the other side, even teammates as well. So incredible stuff. I'll tell you one thing, we saw a lot of clutch. We saw a lot of nades in the hut, and especially spikers, as well as overshields getting melted. But regardless, at the end of each of those, regardless of how much we laughed about and memed those overshield pushes, it was still FaZe with control. Regardless of how those pushes went, it felt like this game really was FaZe's for the entire match.
Yeah, at some point, I think FaZe is going to have to start calming. I made them waste the P shot on me with as the overshield player is forced to back up no shield. But I mean, it's a matter of time for these players to start to learn the meta and to understand that, like, there's better ways to approach the base, but they do want to play at that fast pace. That's the difference. That's the storyline that we're watching. It's like we need to take advantage of all of our timings, and unfortunately, you want to be as aggressive as possible. FaZe is starting to play at the level and at the pace of like Cloud9, right? They're playing so fast today and having so much success doing it that you almost can't fault for when it goes wrong.
Yeah, you're right, and I think also we'll have time to break it down later on in today's show as we get to the grand finals as well. But losing that overshield isn't necessarily the worst thing as long as your momentum continues forward. That was clear with FaZe, but can they bring that momentum into game number 4? It's going to be Oddball on live fire. That's the question. This is go-ahead game for FaZe. If they win here, they're back in the grand finals. However, Sentinels with an opportunity to force a game number 5.
Tournament lives on the line. This 8th seed is all but their destiny if they're not able to pull off a miraculous comeback, not only here, but in the grand finals as well. Sentinels know this, so look for them to bring out their A game. LethuL gets the opening pick. Bubu dubu forced to back down, relocate towards this ball. And right now you're seeing Sentinels slowly play this out. They're going to drop snipe for Frosty, but unfortunately Frosty getting taken down forces SnakeBite to pick that back up. But when Snipe's in SnakeBite's hands, he can be just as lethal as anybody with it.
Taking a look at the numbers here as we wait for that camo to pop. Oh my! SnakeBite on the narrow angle just sees a piece of the skull. He will get taken down in the end, and SnakeDown's going to grab the actual skull, but interesting set of kills that go down there. Sentinels will go 2 down. Bound will grab the camo for just a second. Now it'll be burned.
A massive kill from LethuL, a little bit of an overextension from Bound. You got to think when you get that camo, you just want to get out of there. You know you're being collapsed on by Sentinels. They're looking for you, but Bound not quick enough to get out of that situation, and because of it, LethuL able to take him down, get camo off the map, more importantly, get Snipe out of Bound's hands. And now that looks like the map's been reset for a bit. A big kill from bubu dubu here, top tower, trying to play his life, trying to stay alive, but he's gonna get shot again. Can't seem to stay alive, but a repulsor top tower. That's gonna be unexpected. So bubu dubu actually doing a phenomenal job staying alive up here, but as his team gets 2 kills, you want to see him try and maybe relocate, because there is somebody from Sentinels around him, you would have to think.
Very nice stuff there from bubu to stay alive. Also great challenge against Formal there to use the quick jump from bottom pillars as well. Not a lot of points on the board here as the team's just volleying for control in terms of the slaying department. We should talk about the stats because you've got the side of Sentinels 2-2 recently on this game type. However, FaZe is 10-2 in recent matches, tournament matches on this game type, 83% win rate. Potential opportunity for FaZe to close it out here.
Yeah, FaZe are very strong at this game type, especially when they're able to get sniped into SnakeDown or Bound's hands. So far, they had it for a brief second, but control still being battled for us. It's very interesting to see how Sentinels has been able to get this ball kind of where they want it and been able to rotate it, because they did have it at house after FaZe picked up a few kills. They got it all the way back to tower. I believe camo did just come up, but kills are coming through, and Frosty's going to be the captain of crushing the souls of FaZe as they try to get that camo secured in their favor. Frosty looking to be aggressive. I actually love this push. He's going to have a perfect flank on the respawners of FaZe, and the ball being over a tower, they're not going to think Frosty's over here. But unfortunately, he's a little too slow in the flank. He does find Falcated trying to play a little slow himself, and because of it, he takes him down. And now, unfortunately for Frosty and the rest of Sentinels, it looks like FaZe has broken the setup for now.
2v2 right now. Let's see how these kills go, because this will determine if this becomes a hold or if the ball gets reset once again. All players right now in FaZe just looking at that nest rotate, might even play it if they need to from back B.
Yeah, great position here for bubu dubu, and he's going to actually play it prematurely as he loses 2 members of his team. A great play ball from bubu resets the map, but all of Sentinels look like they're in a position to get this play ball, get it out of bottom middle, and safely secure it, build up a lead once more.
Trade there for Formal. Won't pick up the one on SnakeBite. Take a look at SnakeBite's health, though. With those heat wave shots bouncing around pillars, it was almost a twofer with that heat wave. Not something you see every day, but in an area like pillars and closets, certainly something that could happen with those bouncing around. Now 48-17 in favor of Sentinels, and it's been really a Slayer-heavy ball match here. Clutch to start. Neither team really want to go for a central hold. Looking for a little bit more slaying control before they get ball time on the map.
Yeah, that was a great play ball from Sentinels, similar to the play ball from FaZe we saw, but Sentinels not really able to hold that setup for too long. Do have a significant lead here with over 30 points to their name, but right now Bound in a very good position to get a few kills of his own, maybe get some ball time awarded to his team, but unfortunately it's on the other side of the map. Bound is playing a very chaotic game, gets shot from multiple angles, loses his life because of it, and Frosty doesn't really care about the ball right now because they've been in such good control of the flow of the match, and securing this camo is going to benefit them very well.
I'm surprised SnakeBite gets away with that because Bound is top middle and he shoots SnakeBite on the power up and then goes to grab the Mangler and sits a sandbags, and SnakeBite pops around all the way through A and then just gets a double kill top mid. Surprising to see that. Maybe a little bit of lack of communication there coming in from the side of FaZe.
All right, I love this by Frosty. He's going to slow play this, bait the ball, understand that he lost 2 teammates. You know FaZe are going to be coming for this ball. An easy kill on a Falcated. LethuL finds 2. They actually trade kills out after being down in a 4-2 situation. Frosty finds a 3rd, and Sentinels are able to get the ball control. That was a perfectly played situation by LethuL and Frosty to find kills. Now Frosty trying to do his best to get a stick, but he had a frag out instead, and unfortunately he misses this kill. And now Sentinels, although they've had a brief setup, it looks like it's quickly broken once again.
Nice little body shot from LethuL. Wishes he had a little bit extra help to get that one cleaned up. 2 dead momentarily for both sides, but still sizable lead here for Sentinels, and what has been largely time that has just been kind of scrapped together has still led to quite a sizable lead for Sentinels.
Yeah, neither team really outslaying each other right now, right? They're trading kills. The objective efficiency from Sentinels is coming through, though, and that's big because they need to stay in this series by winning this game. Round 1 would be a massive win for them in this game. bubu now with the first real setup for FaZe, has it in the window, doesn't see anybody on Brood side, and that's going to be a lot of information, but the second he spots SnakeBite, he pings him out, and he understands that, hey, Sentinels is going to be coming from the power-up side of the map. Let's see what he chooses to do here.
Goes for the melee there. It's going to be cleaned up, so not bad. Made sure that kill is traded out. 2v2 right now. The next kills will determine who gets the next hold. It looks like kills will go in favor for just a moment. Favor of FaZe as they'll continue scoring here on house, and maybe they need to rotate out of here. That's what you got to think with players pushing bottom middle. A nice play from Bound, though, on LethuL.
Yeah, this big door player is going to be a nuisance for them, so Bound wisely able to play his life, gets around the corner, continues to score points, and just like that, FaZe are right back in this game with 1 good setup, only down 4 points now. Falcated is going to have to play his life back here. They're not able to play the ball just yet, but they find kills. They might not want to play the ball. If Falcated can find a 3rd, and Falcated finds a 3rd himself. Another triple kill for Falcated. SnakeBite's going to try to deny this ball with this camo snipe. Unfortunately, can't hit the ball carrier, but Falcated might be the player you wanted to take out because right now he's on a tear.
Falcated showing up today in a huge way. Such a consistent player, but even bigger than usual. Today, SnakeBite was the one who had to finally shut him down. 3 dead for Sentinels momentarily, but as you say, not only do we have FaZe back in this, little repulsor 360 from bubu with the Mangler. FaZe now taking the lead in this game. They were down by about 40, but Sentinels unable to scrap even more time together. Now just a 4-point game in favor of FaZe.
bubu hits us with some Tony Hawk Pro Skater moves with the repulsor. I'm not quite sure what was going through the head there, but does finally make his way bottom middle after securing a kill. Unfortunately, Sentinel's doing such a good job of being efficient with the objective. They get ball out of there. Even without the slays, they get ball out of bottom middle into house, but they're going to have to deal with a push right now from FaZe, and bubu chooses to try and go into bottom middle. Misses the repulsor out of ammo, and somehow one of the ugliest fights we've seen in the history of Halo results in a trade.
It results in a trade. That's the only way that battle could end. There was somehow the repulsor at the end, and a melee trades. Take a look, and that will be the time taken down. It will be all the points on the board in favor of Sentinels.
Jesus, I mean, that fight explains that entire round right there. Highly contested. Everybody is throwing everything from the woodshed out into the party, and somehow Sentinels scraped by with a close round 1 win. Now Falcated, it's his job to anchor this top tower position. He knows that multiple members of Sentinels tried to push for the snipe. It is in the hands of Frosty right now, but Bound finding that heat wave, finds himself a SnakeBite kill, and already you're seeing FaZe do a much better job of getting the ball this time around from the bottom middle position. Unfortunately, he's taken down, and Bound is forced to try and go for ball, which costs him his life.
Yeah, 2 dead, actually 3 dead for just a moment for the side of FaZe. Should be an opportunity for Sentinels to get a little bit of early control, early points here towards House. Camo in hand as well as the heat wave, so certainly an opportunity, especially if they get a few more spawns and a Mangler to pick up even more points on the board.
Formal, we know what he can do with snipe. Can he do it with Camo this time around? He actually dropped snipe in this situation. Very interesting stuff from Formal. I'm not sure if that was on purpose, but he's getting pressure from so many members of FaZe. A little bit of a misplay cost him his life. A hesitant play from Formal. Loses Camo and Sentinels' control. They did rotate the ball towards the tower, though. They are going to still have control. It's a 3v3 situation. Dubu is knocked to no shield from LethuL. Finally, he's able to find the pick on the LethuL, but Frosty and Formal stand too strong, and they continue their numbers advantage over at the tower.
Oh man, Frost under so much pressure here. We'll have to see what he could do with this snipe. Looks like that nade probably hit. That's gonna make Snip3down slow down just a bit, enough time for Frosty to somehow get his shields back miraculously. And if there's one guy who can get out of a battle like that and one team that can rotate around it, it's Frosty and Sentinels.
Look at the ball rotation. It was just in front of tower. Sentinels get it all the way to green. It's being such a pain for FaZe to try and hunt down these players. Bound actually falls off the map, so not only does a play ball come through, not only do you think this is FaZe's time to get the play ball and have a setup of their own, but now that Bound's fallen off, they're gonna have a hard time getting that ball from bottom middle as well, because they no longer had the numbers advantage. Frosty delaying Snip3down from being able to impact that bottom mid push. Unfortunately, doesn't check top mid, does turn around and end up trading with Snip3down, so a great trade. But on the other screen, it's Bound securing not just the camo, but a triple kill to take all 4 members of Sentinels down. And now FaZe look to have a setup a tower of their own with this camo newly secured.
Look how fast the Nest and Pillars push is coming, though. They've already found out Bound. They've already pre-naded. They know he's there. He has to win this battle to maintain control.
LethuL's glasses must be something to be able to see that camo. I think the pre-nade was so crucial to trying to find him, but still Bound able to do work back here. Does lose his life eventually, but the rotation of the ball,
though, yeah,
FaZe doing a great job of rotating again, and the melees with the ball. The double kill, expecting SnakeBite to chase him down the hole, was massive, and bubu just created an opening, trying to throw his teammate the ball. That's such good teamwork from them, good communication. And because of it, FaZe now have the lead.
Look at that. They were down by about 30 points there. They run back. Bubu with a perfect rotate, as you say, even baits the drop down for the perfect double melee, even throws it up dummies ramp, because you want to avoid going up that dummies ramp if you can. Just exposes you a bit too much. Falcated not done yet in the back of the base. That'll be a reversal. And right now, minor lead here for FaZe. They know they cannot afford to drop this one. They do not want to go to a game 5.
Frosty had the reticle placement to line that no scope up. He just didn't hit the trigger at the right time. Unfortunately, that's going to mean Snip3down able to find this sniper in his hands. And what can Snip3down do now? It's the first time we're seeing him with this sniper today. We know what he's capable of throughout his career. His team needs him to step up, forced to use the drop wall to his advantage in this situation. Is back down, but a nice body shot onto Frosty creates the 2-man advantage for his team. Gets shot in the side, luckily gets out of dodge with his life. And right now he spots Formal. What a great rotation from Snip3down. The heads up play to predict players spawning outside by green to impact those influencers that are pushing your ball carrier that's moved to house. And now FaZe look to take a massive advantage here in round 2.
Snip3down and Frosty just going at each other time and time again. We've seen them trade a few times in a row. 2 of the best players to ever do it. Just look at the score, though. Bound with another rotate, 72-39. Now just about doubling their opponent's score here and looking to tie up the round, maybe even close it out in game number 4.
I love this by Bound. He's going to understand the situation perfectly. He was headed towards green with the ball, but no, he gets the information that his teammates want him to come back. So he moves the ball back to the window, and the entire time he's scoring points, 90 points and counting now. FaZe are just 5 points away from taking this to a round 3, but Sentinels do take Bound down. I love this play by Falcated. He understands that he's by himself. If he can just delay the ball, which he does with perfect shots, he creates a little bit of space and numbers opportunity for his team coming off respawn.
That's right. Now we're going to need to see some of the best Halo we've ever seen from Sentinels if they want to maintain control of this game and not drop. They cannot afford to lose one setup. If they do, that will be the round. We'll go to a round number 3. Right now it's 94-50, but right now the kills are coming in. 2 dead.
Frosty needs to try and defend this big door opportunity for his team. He knows multiple members of FaZe are trying to push through. Wisely backs down to try and get his shield back, but is he going to be ready for this push? Are they even going to come through big door? It's going to be Bound, and we've seen this movie before. Bound getting heat waves on the big door is a terrible thing for FaZe Clan to see. Fortunately, they do have a 44-point lead to play around. Sentinels will need to play perfect for multiple rounds of sways in order to come back in this game. They've got numbers advantage for now, but it's going to take a lot more than just one set of kills for them to come back here in this second round.
Formal thinking about a rotate as a 34-point game. You did see LethuL trade out. Bound just spraying and praying with the AR on the door. He will fall though, so one dead for the side of FaZe. Keep an eye on the kill feed. That will determine if Sentinels can keep the comeback alive.
Yeah, that will. Time not a factor as of right now, but this kill could be big. SnakeBite does find two. Falcated does pick up a big kill. Actually picks up a second one as well, so it's up to Bound to try and deny this ball carrier and this camo from coming up. LethuL does have a mangler to his advantage, but look at Bound. I love this by him. He grabs the ball, takes the angle to where it shuts off LethuL's line of sight. All they needed was 5 points, and that's Bounds making a heads-up play to secure the last final 5 points for FaZe as they tied this game 4 up 1-1.
That's exactly what you want to see from Bound. A big multi-kill at the end. They just clear the way, then gets on the trick ledge. Gonna round that round out, and we're right back in. It's round number 3 in game number 4. We wouldn't have it any other way. If FaZe wins this, they will close out the series. Sentinels, though, just one round away from forcing us to a game number 5. Few kills coming here for either side. 2 dead.
SnakeBite gets away with his life with Snipe in a 2-on-2 situation. You want to try and maintain ball control, or at least have some kind of eyes on it, but as he jumps up top tower, he doesn't expect two members of FaZe to be staring at him, and he's immediately ripped off that power position. SnakeDown does know that LethuL's here with this game and just secured it, and unfortunately for LethuL, SnakeDown's going to get the better of him there. SnakeDown, an absolute terror right now, not only taking down a Snipe player in SnakeBite, but taking down a camo player in LethuL. 2 massive kills for SnakeDown early on.
Early points on the board, and yeah, they have to be careful because they know the game number 1, that round 1 from Sentinels really was all about the scrap time they got early. They got 60, you don't want to call it free points, but 60 scrappy points, and they were able to close it out in the end. FaZe had much better game management in round number 2, and you can see already putting some points on the board. Want to make sure they play very, very efficient here. Cannot allow any free points to get on the board in favor of Sentinels.
Yeah, there's no way they're ready for SnakeDown with this heat wave. He finds one, does miss the shot on a Formal right there. A great grenade from Formal is going to get him off that brute dummy. As Formal wisely picks up the ball. Now he decides to drop it, and so he understands that he's by himself, and unfortunately there's multiple members of FaZe in his face. Formal in a 1v3 does find one, which could delay how strong this FaZe setup is about to be, but somehow LethuL back tower with the ball in hand has gotten his team a little bit of time, and SnakeBite there to help guard him. Now you're seeing Sentinels play that efficient objective we saw in round 1 to try and tie this game back up.
Oh my, look at this SnakeDown, even though with a little bit of control coming in from the side of FaZe momentarily. It's actually Sentinels that plays that so well. Formal somehow stays alive in the back of the base long enough, and then also even spawns over Nest Bridge to be able to push here once again. So even more time on the board. This is the scrappy time I'm talking about. This is Sentinels just causing chaos at sea, holding the ball bottom pillars, and right now racking up 30 points.
An overextension from Formal there is going to force LethuL to play the ball. Camo is going to be in the hands, and with 3 dead for Sentinels, FaZe have a great opportunity to try and secure this ball, get it back to where they want to go, and get a setup of their own. But Frosty trying to deny that from happening with a double kill of his own. Could be just what the doctor ordered. SnakeDown matches that double with one of his own with the perfect shots bottom middle, and this ball remains bottom middle. But no, almost got it for just a brief second, but you have to think Sentinels needed to get kills in that situation if they wanted to secure this ball, and right now SnakeDown needs to be the primary focus because he's on a tear.
Great shots there. SnakeBite gets cleaned up right away because of SnakeDown shots from that bottom door. Ball will be down for just a second though. 36-22. 3 dead. Momentarily Falcated. Last player gets a triple though, so the reset here might come in quickly. Let's see if Formal gets away. This should be a decent amount of time on the board, especially if they're able to get the first pick off of the FaZe spawners.
Sentinels need to win this round to stay in this tournament, to push this series the distance, and already Frosty and Formal in round 3 have 9 and 8 kills of their own. Frosty picks up that new snipe. You can best believe he's looking to push his kill limit to 10 with this sniper. It finds one front the tower, can't hit the shot though, and they left the ball actually, but Bound face ripped off as he tries to slide top mid with heat wave. Bubu is going to be forced to play this ball, but is he even in a position to do so? He's opting not to play it, and this could be a massive mistake. Frosty with the slide, the no scope, the finish on the snipe down, needs to stay alive now. He's done enough, but no, he gets taken down. And FaZe, they actually get great spawns towards the big door. They're able to contest this ball. LethuL, can he play it? The answer is finally yes, and that resets the entire map.
I agree. Interesting play from FaZe to actually go for the B rotate, not the play ball. It almost paid off based on those spawns, but LethuL with a hero move there to play that ball just to force that reset. All eyes on Camo though right now.
Yeah, it feels like FaZe has been getting the better of these camos in these situations, and right now is Falcated able to punch this one into his chest. I mean, if he's able to make a play, this could be the one that decides the fate of Sentinels in this tournament. Look, he sees SnakeBite. SnakeBite doesn't quite see him, and unfortunately, SnakeBite gonna eat the first melee. An easy kill for Falcated to turn numbers into his team's favor, but he's immediately erased. Bound, he waves himself. A little bit of a misplay there. Misses one shot on the LethuL! No! LethuL rips his head off as he 180 no scopes him in the head, doing only things LethuL is known to do, and that was a massive kill to disrupt the setup of FaZe.
That was absolutely disgusting. I'm surprised it was allowed to be shown here on that broadcast. The receiving end of it, nonetheless, LethuL keeping his team in this one. A disgusting turnaround reversal, no scope over in the house. 2 dead momentarily for Sentinels, and just like this, essentially a tied game. It's 58-52.
58-52. FaZe does have control of ball in-house, but they're going to be sandwiched here as you see 2 members of FaZe getting taken down. SnakeBite loses his life, and the last 2 players are going to be fighting for their lives here as multiple members of Sentinels swarm. Frosty actually goes past him though. He gets a nice kill. Bound, so sneaky, so good. Massive to disrupt any chance of a setup. Frosty tried to play a little too aggressive, didn't check his corners, and Bound, taking advantage of the situation now, is able to disrupt the setup of what was once Sentinels taking the lead, is now removed from the equation.
Formal finally takes Bound down, but like you said, those sneaky plays just waiting in the corners when those strongholds or in ball games, when players have not cleared out the back of the base, it will cost you, and Bound takes advantage of that situation. But just like that, 2-point game, 66-64.
Falcated playing his life perfectly here. The ball may reset shortly though. You want to get a touch, but unfortunately he's not in a great position because there's multiple members of Sentinels out by the power up right now. Falcated tries to contest them. This camo is going to be crucial to the outcome of this game if it can get secured safely. Unfortunately, SnakeBite forced it back down, but bubu on the other side of the map, able to get some good damage and then relocate. But actually, that relocation was almost perfect timing to try and kill SnakeBite. But SnakeBite turning every corner just on the right time, able to play the ball as well. So bubu doing everything he can to get the ball out of SnakeBite's hands. But unfortunately, the ball does get played. Frosty doing unbelievable work right now, getting that double kill. Can't find the triple, but unfortunately, I believe because Frosty gets those 2 kills, he allows LethuL to get this ball off respawn.
That's a big kill because that was 3 dead. That was the first spawner that was coming in. Falcated there. They have numbers once again. Take a look at the scoreboard, 77-66. My
nice
God.
Quick scope, a killing spree from Frosty. Knows exactly where SnakeDown is. SnakeDown, if you poke your head out, I'll hit it. The gun's the only thing that sticks out, and Frosty hits it even, knocking him down. And now FaZe have 2 dead, 91 points for Sentinels, 93. They're gonna have 0 people in position to try and kill this ball carrier. Sentinels are gonna do it in game 4. They're gonna push this series to distance, and we're going to a game 5 in the elimination finals. FaZe and Sentinels will have 1 team slayer to decide who gets into the grand finals of our Pro Series 4.
Here we go, Sentinels down to the wire. Every inch, every point on the board mattered in the end. They close out game number 4. It took them 3 rounds, but they do it with a very convincing final hold and a fantastic set of plays at the end of the game to close that one out. If we take a look at the totals, it's Frosty who drops a 50 bomb, 50 and 30, triple kill, and 4 doubles on the board as well.
A 50 bomb is what's required for Frosty to get Sentinels into game 5, and that's just what he does. Plus 20.
Oh my God. Look at the total difference there, 230 to 229. My God.
Oh my God.
You've got to be kidding me. What a series this has been. We hope you're enjoying it. We certainly are. We're going to game 5.
This is unbelievable. And with the level of Halo that's being played, I mean, with the Slayers that we've seen today in game 2s, we can only hope that we see somewhat of a 50-48 situation, because already we've seen it 4 times today.
I was gonna say, we only do 50-40. I think we had one 50-47. Every other Slayer we've had on the stream has been a 50-48. Beautiful triple kill earlier on in one of the first rounds from Falcated, but so back and forth, as we said. This was a wacky one as the time ticked down. It was a small point difference, but the time was the difference maker as we go back to that play for bubu dubu. Nice little rotate and bait, the classic there to bring the ball all the way back to C. Bound closing out that round number 2. But in our 3rd round, it was a little bit different. It was a final convincing hold coming in from Sentinels, and once again, they scrapped a lot of time in the middle as well.
Yeah, it was really the objective efficiency difference, right? It felt like both teams were slaying out Obviously, Frosty going plus 20 helps, but Sentinels, time after time, they were able to get that ball out of bottom middle as it was reset, and it wasn't like FaZe was really highly contesting that situation very often. And I think FaZe are going to be kicking themselves for letting Sentinels get the ball out of the bottom middle position once it was returned several times throughout that match. But because of it, Sentinels tie the series up 2-2 against the FaZe clan. It's going to be Streets Slayer that's going to decide our elimination finals. And this is going to be a fast-paced game, and I couldn't be happier to see it because we've seen how both these two teams can dominate Street Slayer.
That's right. Both teams, I believe, with a winning record. FaZe is 5-4 in this game type recently. We'll take a look at Sentinels 3-1, so a slight edge percentage-wise to Sentinels, but we'll have to see if that translates, though. Of course, that's a limited amount of game data, historical game data to go off of, so perhaps you could say the slightest of edges to the side of Sentinels, but this is going to be fantastic. It'll be our first game 5 of the evening, and I would say that this is really the only way we want this series to go. As an unbiased Halo fan, I was hoping we might head to a game number 5, and that's exactly what we're going to get.
I mean, with the series and the Halo that we have been seeing today, it's only right that we at least get one game 5. It's only right that after all these highly contested matches throughout all of today, I mean, this series has been the best one yet. And I hope that the grand finals is able to top this one, but
it's gonna be tough.
Right now, focusing on game 5 for both these teams, a lot on the line. We're talking Sentinels is trying to not play in Cloud9's pool at Anaheim. In order to do so, they need to win this whole tournament.
Yeah.
FaZe,
not gonna be easy.
I mean, FaZe had such a strong performance against Cloud9. Probably the best performance we've seen against Cloud9 since Raleigh. In that winners finals, you know that they won a rematch. You know that they, in their hardest of hearts, they can beat Cloud9. They believe that they can beat Cloud9 with just a few different plays, but they have to get there in order to do so. And in order to do so, it's this game 5.
It is this game number 5. And remember how fast-paced Aquarius Slayer was. As I said, it was probably the highest amount of kills we saw in the opening minute and a half that we've ever seen in Aquarius Slayer. You have to wonder if both teams are going to have the same approach on a Street Slayer. It's a little bit riskier to do, especially with things like rockets in play, or if the teams are going to play a little bit slower. I think we're going to see a lot of aggression early on, and when one team has to slow it down, they finally will. But we're jumping into our game number 5 right now. It's going to be Street Slayer between FaZe and Sentinels. Tournament life on the line for both teams.
All right, here we go. I strongly hope that we see this one go the distance. I wouldn't be shocked to see this game slow down, like you said, for what's on the line for both of these two teams. You know that they're not going to give any deaths away for free. They're going to play their lives to a perfection. But who will be the players that make the plays of the game? I love the fact that we're starting on board with Falcated, pushing this shotgun. Spawn already upgrading his starting loadout with this Bulldog shotgun, going to give himself a great opportunity to compete for these rockets. But with multiple members of FaZe over towards the shotgun side, it is going to be LethuL that get those rockets. Nobody on FaZe getting a position to try and deny those rockets from LethuL, and because of it, he finds himself one, making a double. A great predictive rocket for LethuL, and a hot start for Sentinels already.
Look at the pre-fire rocket on the rocket pocket. It does connect. It's not every time that you see great, like we talked about, rocket efficiency coming in from players, but LethuL able to connect with both of those. A little bit of a free rocket grab there, it felt like, just as you had pointed out, and also good help from Frosty alongside the Neons. Give them a little bit of a lead here, and Tires control with the Bulldog as well.
Yeah, it's always the Bulldog and Tires that seems to surprise players, and now Frosty using that situation to his advantage, pushes his team to a 2-kill lead, smells blood in the water, spots Falcated in this red room, and he's gonna look to push, but help is on the way for Falcated. He's able to stay alive, but dubu able to also play his life, and that was an overextension from Sentinels because now there's 3 dead.
Talk about a water cooler conversation there. That's a water cooler chat you might not want to be part of there as you try to fly in 2 players on FaZe just waiting around the corner, and like you said, an overextension, and I was expecting to see a little bit of aggression, a little bit of hype coming out from these 2 teams, and maybe a little bit of overextension. That's what we just saw, because just like that, FaZe is able to answer right back and take the lead, and you have to wonder if Sentinels needed to send it all the way to red room at that moment.
Absolutely they didn't, and that was a massive overextension. They thought they had control. They thought that they were going to be able to press the members of FaZe before respawners were able to come through, but they just didn't have the timings, and because of it, FaZe right back in this game, actually with a 2-kill lead. But bubu looking to press with the Stalker rifle, but LethuL backing both those players down as the second set of rockets comes up in 5 seconds. You see LethuL reposition, and you got to think FaZe is not going to give up the second set of rockets to LethuL as easy as they did the first.
Yeah, these rockets are going to be huge. Only a 2-kill game between these two sides. Ooh, Formal with those, and Falcated gets punished for peeking there. Formal able to grab the splash damage. If there's one guy who knows how to use these rocks on streets, it feels like it's Formal.
Yeah, Formal. You have to remember that game 5 he had at
Yes.
Raleigh, 20, I believe 5 kills. Was it something insane? He's going to need something similar of a performance to try and keep Sentinels in this tournament. A great rocket and a great finish with the BR as he loses his life as well, but a great trade from FaZe on the rocket player. That's a win. If you're a FaZe clan member, they have the map control they want to deal with. Falcated looking to press with this Bulldog shotgun. Can't quite break through the deployable wall from SnakeBite in that situation. Waits for his team though, and now look at how quick the rest of FaZe are. They find the kills. Falcated only having to be a distraction there is all FaZe needed to take a 4-kill lead.
They clear out PD, and they're even able to get angles. Falcated trying to overextend here with that Bulldog. Really be the aggressor here, the one that is able to get that opening damage as the entire team pushes in from B as well.
Now this is a successful push from FaZe. They find 3 kills. Formal, last guy alive, trying to fight for his life, but Bound there to finish him off, and they flip the map successfully. What Sentinels tried to do to FaZe earlier in the game works out in FaZe's favor this time around, and now they have a 6-kill lead to play around. Bound with this stalker rifle, able to anchor this position. Sees nades coming through from shotgun, and that's a lot of information for Bound to relate to his teammate. They're going to be pushing the right side of the map.
Love that play from Falcated. Killing spree from Bound as well. Even though Falcated did take that one stalker hit, he still goes C-Balk with the Bulldog as everyone else is pushing B driveway. And like you said, it's a perfect push. They trade about 4 for 1 there. That will give them here that 4-kill lead.
Yeah, 4-kill lead. Bound does find Formal, but you think Bound's gonna get taken down, but he gets around the corner, stays alive, and this stalker rifle worth gold in the amount of damage that Bound's able to provide for his team right now. Somehow sneaks out the front of the base, spots Frosty with the perfect timing, takes Frosty down, and as rockets are coming up, that kill could be a big one.
Look at Bound knowing that all the room he had. Very rarely can you go front C and just run up garbage to pick up a kill like that, but he does exactly that. Also has all the space in the world to grab rockets, fly through tires, check PD. Right now they are running away with this game. It's a 7-kill lead.
Taking over Bound is. Look at the reposition, the awareness, the communication comes through. He's able to finish off that kill. Provide a little space for his team. Finds the back of Frosty. Can't find the kill, but unfortunately, that rocket doesn't fall home. A kill does come through on the nade from Frosty, so Bound gets the assist, but 13 and 4 already in game 5. Bound is starting to make a name for himself.
Outrageous numbers. Most kills in the game across both teams, least deaths as well. Putting on an absolute show here, stepping up when he needs to. I mean, look at the numbers there, right? +8, and his team leads by 7. Bound is running this map.
Bound taking over in game 5. You know he's capable of so much as a young superstar in this league, but 3 kills go straight into Sentinel's favor. Bound able to trade 1, but Sentinel's doing everything they can to stay in this, but somehow Bound able to find the timing and the reticle positioning to get that kill onto LethuL is massive, because he's gonna lose his life no matter what, but to keep a 6-kill lead in FaZe's favor is massive.
Trying to control tires though is SnakeBite. This one far from over, and Sentinels quietly have kept this game close. We were talking about what was an 8-kill lead that has been shrunk significantly as the Bulldog is continuing to run tires. As you pointed out earlier, it's a Sentinels push here on back A and back PD. Sentinels certainly keeping this game close, still a 5-kill game.
5 kills is within reach, right? And that's what Sentinels is trying to do as rockets are approaching. Coming up in 15 seconds, Frosty doing his best to control this tires position, but all of FaZe are going to know Frosty is here. He does spot Bound going into the police department, so LethuL's going to have his hands full with Bound, knowing he's on fire. Frosty is going to get in that position to where he can trade out the damage LethuL's able to do. A questionable push, but SnakeDown. It's not questionable when you've got the gunny that he has. He gets the damage with the AR, able to find that kill. Finally stop Frosty from the tear with that shotgun. Rockets did come up though. I believe that they're going to be down towards the Oddball spawn. You see SnakeDown trying to make his way over there, but they're already gone. And Sentinels, they've secured rockets. They've gotten a few kills of their own, and now it's just a 3-kill game.
Bubu trying to figure out what's going on at bottom. Neon doesn't have the help he needs. He'll trade from the grave, but still, as you said, they're both trying to figure out where those rockets are. And if you're a FaZe, you are not happy with how close this game is. Still a 3-kill game. Keep in mind, they were just up by 8. Now 40-37. This is the home stretch.
Yeah, it does look like Sentinels have the better opportunity with the sandbox in hand. Stalker rifle in SnakeBite's hand. He gets taken down by Bound, pushing straight down by the middle to find the kill. But shotgun in Frosty's hands could be the play of the day here. for Sentinels. He's wisely going to back up as he gets information that there's multiple members trying to push towards arcade. Frosty relocates, jumps into tires, body with the shotty. He finds himself the opening pick, and Sentinels could be looking to push, but great grenades trade that one out.
He tries to nope out of there. Tires isn't able to do it though. Double kill does come in here, so that will lead to a 2-kill lead for FaZe. 43-41. Still everything focused around these B pillars, around the B stairs. Bound is hungry, and he gets another one on LethuL. Not afraid to drop down with the Bulldog 3-kill game.
22 kills for Bound right now. 22 and 10 as he's pushing. Make it 23. The 24th one narrowly escapes his grasp. But the rest of FaZe are in a position to where they can capitalize here. LethuL does find a kill at 45-43. FaZe have the lead.
Bubu all alone in the back of C though. Not able to make it happen. 45-45, just like that. Drop ball's down. Look at these rockets at 20. Gets melted immediately. And that's going to be a lead here for Sentinels. 46-45.
Sentinels get all of the slays, make it a fourth in a row. Rockets are coming up and they have the entire map to play around. Sentinels have now taken the lead. If they can secure these rockets safely, they can take this series. Rockets are coming up in 3 seconds. FaZe do get an opportunity to come off spawn and compete for these rockets, but they have such little sight lines, such little room to try and work around. And SnakeBite spotted out immediately. Although Formal, a little bit of an overextension, his team shot down. 49-46. FaZe have to give these rockets up.
Got to keep an eye on those rockets here. Now looking back, see, it's it, and off screen. The final kill does come in. It's 50-46 somehow. Sentinels pull it out. Bound might have had 23 kills on the board, but Sentinels wants nothing to do with it. They close it out in the final moments. And as we said, Clutch, Slayers have delivered today. This has been the best day of Slayers we've ever seen in competitive Halo. And you and I have been doing this for a very long time. We can say that with confidence. Somehow it's Sentinels in game 5. They are going to the grand finals and they defeat FaZe Clan.
Wouldn't it be a story for Sentinels' last ride with Formal to come out on top, to take the entire Pro Series, to stop Cloud9 in their tracks, to deny the 4P from happening? They take down FaZe in a phenomenal best of 5, a game 5, 50-46 here in the elimination finals. They get their ticket to the grand finals to fight the juggernauts and an opportunity to play spoil to the Cinderella story that is Cloud9.
All 3 players there outside of Bound going negative, as you see in that game. Bound 24-12, a pop-off game.
Yo,
absurd.
If I drop 24 kills in a game 5 and we lose, there's a discussion we're going to have shortly after, I promise.
And you can bet that's exactly what's going to be the case for the side of FaZe as they look ahead towards Anaheim. Certainly expected to be in the finals here, but they won't be. We will not get to see the FaZe C9 rematch, at least not today. We'll have to wait for Anaheim to hope for that one, but it's Sentinels in the end. Keep in mind, they were down by 7 at 1.8 kills in this game, and they play the long game. Aggressive plays from Bound in this one, doing everything he could for the squad. They're up 44-41 here, unable to close it out.
It turns it into 45 here, and I mean, like, he gets another guy no shield. He just creates so much space. Frosty trying to nade rockets to himself.
Doesn't
misses
happen.
The grenade just barely, but it doesn't matter. Like, at that point, the game was over. When it was 47-46 and all of FaZe is spawning back trim, it's over. FaZe is going to have 1 to 2 sightlines max to try and compete for rockets. Sentinels are going to have the entire map to play around, and with rockets respawning, like, FaZe have to compete. But with such little angles, there's no way that they're going to be able to compete on an even playing field. It's the kills that led up to that. It's the 5-6 kills in a row that Sentinels had in that situation immediately after taking down Bound. That was massive. Guys, bringing you back in, I mean, a lot. That my heart's still going.
Yeah, I can't breathe, really. But honestly, I think I'm going to have an early grave with HCS, to be perfectly honest with you, because these Slayers as well, just ending on these ridiculously close Slayer games is just amazing. You know, Onset, bringing you into this conversation, man, I really want to know what you think of Sentinels right now, and honestly, comparing the 2 rosters, because I think with Formal, they're a way riskier, aggressive, scrappier team, and it seems to be working for them.
Yeah, I mean, just get me to Anaheim. That's all I can think about right now. We got a grand finals to come, but get me to Anaheim. Let's get back on land and let's watch these teams, because I think it's so difficult to compare Sentinels that we're seeing right now with the Sentinels we're going to see Anaheim, right? Because you have 2 different players playing. It is what it is, but the way the Sentinels are playing right now is a lot of fun to watch. It is so good. Let's remind ourselves, you know, FaZe gave C9 one of the best series we've had. I was like, there's no way we top that. Then we go into that series and I'm like, how is this happening? How is this happening? Like, games are being decided by one missed bullet, by one beatdown, by one rotation. It's one thing in those last moments that changes the game. It is absolutely ridiculous. I've never seen Halo played at such an insane level where it comes down to those final moments. It's just not in a series. Every single game, it is just so fun to watch. I'm having a blast.